I'm going to create a visual outline of how it'll look. So I will probably make sure I pack my clothes. Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about a couple of different things. So let's just get into it. We're talking about setting intentions. This is like a part 2 of the first parts of setting intentions. And this one is actually about remaining intentional / remaining consistent with our goals that we already set for the year. Now, I don't care what week it is never too late to get back on track with your goals or to start a new set of goals or to do whatever you want. I have so much to tell y'all and like so much I want to talk about. Okay, I'm going to run through one goal and I'm going to run you from the beginning to the end. And then we're going to talk about the different steps I did when I'm done. So for this goal is tapping into my feminine energy more. And I do this through going to dance classes, especially like more feminine energy dance classes. So pole classes, heel classes, sexy classes, whatever I feel like taps into my feminine energy, those are the classes that I will go for. So after I write that, I am going to look for these classes in my area. After I look for the classes in my area, I'm going to make sure it's easy for me to get to them because I am more prone to go to something if it's easier for me. I'm going to see how far are they from where I live. What does the Uber price usually look like? What does the metro track usually look like? How will I get there if I drive? After that, I'm going to go ahead and decide how often do I want to do this. I want to be very sustainable with this. So I am going to do this or make an effort to do this once a month or twice a month. After this, I'm going to look at the particular classes, look at what time it is and fit it in my schedule. And then usually if it's a day that I have work or school, I know like what hours my work to school usually run. And so I'm going to create a visual outline of how it'll look. So I will probably make sure I pack my clothes for this dance class in my bag from the morning so that I do not have to come back home. I can just go straight to the class after my classes for the day. I'm also going to add these things to my calendar as well. So I know that I've already put my money into it and these things are already in my calendar. So they're already part of my routine now. Let's go into every single thing that I did and break it down. The first thing I did was I set my intention. So I said exactly what I wanted to do and how I'm going to go about doing it. Secondly, you can use like a habit tracker or like an accountability buddy, but on some weeks I will reach out to people and be like, hey, do you want to come to this class with me? Because I love to have new experiences or experiences that I enjoy with people that I love, and that also makes me find the class more enjoyable. The next thing I do is I make it easy for me to go to these places. So I know my routes, I mentally already mapped everything out. And just like in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, y'all already know I love that book and I reference it a bunch of times. Make sure you read it if you haven't. But I am going to make these things easy for me. So I'm going to make sure that the places I'm going to, the dance class I'm going to, they're close to me, because it'll make me even want to go even more. And also by me inviting other people, it just gives me an extra push to even want to go even more. It just makes it easier and more enjoyable. I also like to reframe my speech and how I get to my goals. So instead of saying I have to do this, like I have to go to school, I have to go to these classes, I say I get to do this. I get to tap into my feminine energy. I get to learn more about myself. The next thing I do is I show up as somebody who does these things. So I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, like I'm a terrible dancer and I don't know how to dance and I'm just going for one class and like not acting like, no, I'm going to show up like the girlies who go to these dance classes. So I'm going to have my heels, I'm going to have my dancing attitude, everything that I feel like the people who go and show up for these things show up as, I'm also going to show up as them. And I'm going to connect them with who I am as a person so I'm able to do this authentically. I'm just creating a new identity for myself in these things. And I talked about identity work in my previous video. You can go back to that. I'll do another video on identity work because it's so important to get into identity work and it's the quickest way to achieve your goals, achieve your manifestations, and all those good things. There are also habit tracker apps as well. Or you could use Notion. If there are a lot of things that you want to implement and you want to be very consistent with them and you feel like they're little small things such as waking up, gratitude journaling, getting sun in your eyes, getting movement, going to Pilates, you can create like a list of these things on Notion and then just check them off each day. And by checking them off and having like a habit tracker, it gives you like a pump of dopamine to know that you completed these things and know that you are able to check them off on your list. So that also gives you inspiration because you want to do these things. One thing that gives me inspiration as well to meditate is I have my cute little streak going. I'm on day 50 right now, and like I wouldn't want to break it because it's such a cute streak. It's just like on Duolingo when you are doing those language exercises every single day. You don't want to break it because you're already, the streak, it's dopamine, it's the dopamine. Like our bodies have so many different processes to make it easier for us to want to do things. And so by leaning into them and actually using them to our advantages, we're able to be so much more consistent with so much that we do in our everyday lives. So a habit tracker is a great idea, all in all. Okay, I hope y'all enjoy those tips. If y'all use them, let me know. If y'all have any other tips to add on how to remain intentional / consistent with your goals, let me know. Let's go over how to remain intentional / consistent with our goals. We are going to 1, create an action plan and put it inside our calendar. 2, we are going to show up as somebody who does those things already, like it's already part of our identity. 3, we are going to have an accountability, some sort of accountability. So that can be our habit tracker, or it can be an accountability buddy, something like that. 4, we're going to make them enjoyable. So we are going to reframe the way that we see these things, and we're going to say, I get to do these things instead of I have to do these things. I think I've said 5 of them. If y'all use any of these tips, just let me know, because I love them. I use them. They're great. And let me know how y'all are doing so far on your goals this year. I want to be here to encourage you. You're doing so good. I am so proud of you every single day. You are literally putting your whole backbone into that goal, and I'm so proud of you. These goals should be enjoyable. Like, I know sometimes goals can feel very uncomfortable at first, but with time, you'll find so much comfort in doing all these things, and they will now become comfortable that you'll now be looking for the next thing that you can do that's uncomfortable because you love the way that it feels for uncomfort to go to comfort, and it's just a beautiful way. The only way you grow is through uncomfortability. So by embracing that, you grow so much. So just know that I am proud of you. I love you so freaking much. You are doing so good. If you need an accountability buddy, text me, like DM me on Instagram. I got you. And I'm rooting for you. If nobody's rooting for you, I'm rooting for you. And you should be rooting for yourself because you're doing so good, okay? Oh my gosh, I need to record like a whole YouTube video just like encouraging people, because that's something that I love to do. Like I said, I love to give energy. I love to encourage. So I'm here for you. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Love you. Hugs and kisses.